Yes, Kat from FullMetalRock.com. How you guys doing?
Hey, Kat. That's Kevin. Lenny here.
So I am talking with the guys from Le Projet. I think I pronounced that right, which I think is an awesome name. Kevin Martin here from CANDLEBOX and The Greatest Few. Also, Lenny Cerzosie from The Infinite Staircase. Kevin is singing for this project, and Lenny is playing guitar, but is also a good singer, as I've found out. Morgan Rose on drums and Adam Curry from CANDLEBOX on bass. How'd the project come together, guys?
Well, I had been invited by these guys to do a song. What year was that, Lenny? 2012 for Sandy?
Yeah, just about. I believe so.
Yeah, so 2012, there's a Hurricane Sandy tribute or benefit single we did with Zach Wilde and Morgan called The Pride. And we had really enjoyed doing that together. We had a great time, and it happened so quickly. And Morgan's like, listen, we need to find some time and, try and do this again, a little bit more seriously and see if we can't come up with something. And it happened. Lenny called me in April and said, listen, Morgan's got some free time and we're free. Do you want to come out to New Jersey and try this? And initially I thought they just wanted me to come out and produce it, like oversee it and produce it. I didn't know that it was a singing gig. So yeah, I got into Jersey and we started working, and we wrote 3 songs in 3 days. So it really kind of all stemmed from that charity single we did for Hurricane Sandy.
And when I heard both Little Shits and Save Yourself, I mean, the hair on my arms stood up. I literally, both songs. And I thought, oh my God. So were those, was Save Yourself your first choice for the single release? Or
well, Kevin, I think when you showed them to the radio station in Louisiana, right?
Yeah, I let some people in Louisiana kind of give us a little bit of direction. I was really, to be perfectly honest with you, Kat, I said to the guys, I was like, I don't think we should, kind of do the standard radio campaign. I think we should just kind of, put it out there for the fans and see what happens. And, if something comes of it, it comes of it, and we'll go from there. But when I sent it to a friend of mine, Gonzo, who's working a station down in Louisiana, he was like, dude, do you mind if we play this? And I was like, no, go ahead, feel free. And he started playing it and then gave us the ad that day. So I think that was because Little Shits, he didn't want to have to do an edit of it, and he felt that Save Yourself kind of had that good old school kind of rock and roll vibe to it. And plus, it's got the interesting time signature and whatnot that's going on. It made it interesting for the listener, and so that's kind of how it came about. It wasn't so much that it was our first choice or last choice. I think it was just kind of by default.
So tell me about the writing process with you guys coming together. I mean, I know you guys live across the country from each other. Does the whole band participate, or is it just a couple people, or what's going on there?
Yeah, I mean, the process with this particular project was very interesting to me because we all went in really not knowing exactly what was going to go down. So we all have ideas here and there, but we really came from scratch. And Little Shits was actually the first song we worked on. And that song just started with a little riff, and then another riff, and then some other rhythms and stuff. And before we knew it, we had this crazy twisting, turning song. And then, of course, once Kevin gets serious with the vocals, it becomes a whole new ballgame.
And so, that is some serious vocals, Kevin, I got to tell you.
Thank you.
Oh, yeah. It was just so cool to see a lot of stuff happening on the spot, and there were a lot of takes that were not even planned, whether it be the vocals or the guitar parts. The accidents that are kept are so cool, if you know what I mean.
That's probably where a lot of songs come from, I would think. I mean, I'm not a musician myself, so I don't know, but I would think that a lot of things happen by accident, like, oh, wow, that sounded really good, do that again.
Yeah. The happy accidents make up the majority of most rock records, I think. You can sit down and try and plan world domination, but ultimately it just comes down to whether the timing's right with the right people around you. And I think that in this project, we're all professionals. We've been doing this a long, long time. I think it's very easy for us to look at one another in the face and say, "Oh, I know where you're going." And that's just because we've been doing it so long. I think the nice thing is Morgan is a catalyst of a lot of what happens musically in this project. And we sat down, we discussed a lot of different things about what mistakes not to make. Who do we not want to make sure we sound like? Because there's so much stuff out there that sounds so much the same. It's just ridiculous to me that there are 5 bands that sound like Nickelback, and 5 bands that sound like Three Doors Down, and 5 bands that sound like Papa Roach, and 5 bands that sound, the list goes on and on and on. It's just a matter of us discussing things as professional musicians and saying, this is not what I want to do, and this is where I want to go. And Morgan doing the same, and Adam doing the same, and Lenny and Jeff, pitching in as well. It's all of us collectively decided what direction we wanted to head in. Did we want to be a middle of the road rock band? No. Did we want to be a prog rock band? No. Did we want to be a band that started out making 3 songs to see what happens and turning people's heads? Yes, and that's exactly what's happened for us. And that's, again, we're very fortunate that we get along that way.
Are you happy with where you guys are right now with this band?
No, I'd like to be finished with the record and touring.
Well, that's another question. Is there going to be a tour, do you think?
Yeah, we're getting together in December to write some more stuff. I think our game plan basically is release, a song every month and take 12 months to do that, and then put the record out and go on the road. It's been my experience that trying to shove music down people's throats and trying to get them to pay for it is a mistake that has been made time and time again. And I've been really vocal about how do we make this interesting for the people that love what we do, and if we can get them to fall in love with the songs for a year before we even go out on the road to play them for them, that's going to give us just a great head start. And going out and playing songs where people know every single word. It's kind of like your record's been out in the United States and Europe for a year, and you've been playing in the States for a year, and then you go over to Europe and they all know your songs and they're excited to hear you play because they haven't gotten to see you for a year. So I think that we would definitely want to tour on it. I know Morgan's got a crazy schedule with Seven Dust, and luckily Adam and myself and Lenny are a lot freer with our time, so we kind of have to work around his schedule. But I think eventually, we'll definitely hit the road.
So Sabrina mentioned something about Indiegogo campaign, a crowdsource funding the album. Are you guys thinking about doing something like that?
I think that's been
absolutely
mentioned. Yeah, I know Jeff and Sabrina are probably working on that.
Yeah, I think it'd be nice to, for us, it's not like we're all millionaires and we can just go and make records whenever we want to make them. There's so many things that kind of are a part of that process, and because we do all live so far apart from one another, we have to schedule that time. We have to cover flights because we're not a band selling merchandise and we haven't toured. There's no money set aside for that type of thing. So we can get our fans involved and give them a little bit of excitement into what we're doing, and they feel a part of it. I think it makes it enjoyable for everybody, and especially for us, because it gives us an opportunity to meet them and but also afford the luxuries of making a record together.
I think it's a great idea. I mean, the whole concept I think is a great idea. Getting the fans involved makes us feel a part of the whole project also. The name, but I love the name, by the way. It's great.
Oh, thanks.
Cool.
Perfect.
Happy to hear that. We're happy to hear that. But I'm with you 1,000% on one of the coolest things is being able to interact with people, social media and all that stuff, and in the, all the campaigns and all that stuff. Very cool to be able to just be so close to people, and I have a lot of fun with that. And if you look at the pictures on our Facebook page, you could see we really were just sitting around writing songs from scratch, and just the interaction that we've been getting has been awesome, and I enjoy it thoroughly.
I, as a fan, when music makes me get goosebumps, there's something there. There's something really good there, and I know I'm not the only one getting those goosebumps.
Well, we get them. Lenny rips out this solo at the end of Save Yourself. When it kicks in, and every single time it happens, it gives me that feeling of we're doing the right thing, and I love that because it's something that when I first listened to Guns N' Roses, or when I first listened to the Cult or the Clash or something like that, when there's that guitar part, being that I'm a singer and I'm a reluctant lead singer, I always look at other instruments to kind of inspire me. And when Lenny sent that to me, when he laid that guitar part at the end of the track, I was like, that's exactly what I was looking for in my mind to get me over the edge of this song. And it's great. I love that emotion. I love that feeling, and I think it's awesome.
You guys posted a question on Twitter the other day asking what people's favorite songs from your respective bands are. What are yours? Candlebox, Infinite Staircase, and Seven Dust.
What are mine from my band?
No, from all three.
Yeah, I think for Candlebox, I'm really a fan of the newer stuff. I like Turn Your Heart Around. I think is probably on Love Stories and Other Musings my favorite song. But I also love Them Eyes. And Seven Dust, it's Decay, which I think that record, in my opinion, their best record ever. And there's something about that song and the way it's delivered that just feels great. And it tells a great story about kind of where we're at as a society, and which again is kind of what I tried to do with Save Yourself. It's about the decline of civilization and what's happening here and where we're at, and who are we becoming as a society, and what's happening to us all around. And I think for Seven Dust to have such a long career, what they've been able to do with that has been pretty amazing. And I think that record just kind of floored me, and that song itself. Infinite Staircase, it's a great record. I think if I had to pick a favorite song, it would be The Pride, which was a song that Lenny and Jeff sent to me when I was flying out to New Jersey to do the track for the Sandy Hurricane victims. I just was immediately hooked on it. I thought it was great. And I got to say, I also like there's a song on No Amends called Slowly at Least, which I think is really, really interesting. It's got a lot of ins and outs. It's got a great melody, and I think all in all, Lenny's a really good songwriter, and he just I don't think was ever really given the chance at an earlier age to kind of explore the things that he wanted to explore. And I think with this record, No Amends, he's kind of really captured a lot of stuff. And listen, he's got a lot of guest performers on it too, which is pretty rad, to be able to have musicians that inspire you to come play on your record. It's a great feeling.
Hey, Lenny, same question to you, but first, you're no stranger to working with other musicians. Obviously, with No Amends, you had worked with a bunch of musicians on that album. So I would assume it would be an easier transition for you than the rest of the people that didn't have so much recent experience with working with so many different musicians.
I mean, I gotta say, one of the things that sometimes I gotta shake myself and be like, is this real? Every so often I find myself in a situation where I'm working with somebody that I not only look up to but was inspired by, including the guys I'm working with in Le Projet, where it's like, when did this happen? When did I get so lucky to work with such awesome people?
Yeah.
The biggest fan of all.
You lucky bastard.
Oh man, I mean, we even got there LJ we did get to work with too, and Chris Caffrey from TSO, and so many Earl Slick back a couple years back we got to work with. I mean, Blue Sarah, so many people that the list goes on. And for me, it's just
I've never met Zakk Wylde, and I've never talked to him on the phone, so there you go.
Oh yeah, that was lovely. When I'm talking to my brother.
That's just Zakk. That's just Zakk.
Zakk. Yeah, gotta love it. Hey, it's fun, but Jeff knows everybody though somehow. That's how things happen. Jeff knows everybody. That's my brother.
So, what are your favorite songs?
As far as CANDLEBOX, Into the Sun is my favorite album. Surrendering, probably my favorite song off that album, although all the songs are great. Angel Sun, probably Seven Dust, love that song. And personally, The Infinite Staircase, my closest song to my heart is the actual title track, No Amends. About my girl that passed away a couple years ago.
Beautiful song, beautiful song. Definitely.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I got a little tear in my eye when I heard that song.
Oh, trust me. Morgan put me in a closet and forced me to write that song. He's like,
that's what I'm saying. Like that's what I picked up when I heard that track. I was like, that's why it means what it does, and that's why it feels how it feels. When you can attach yourself to that emotion. Lenny's a really, really sensitive guy, and I mean that in the kindest way. He's got a heart of gold. It's on his sleeve, and when you show up to write with him, he just brings great stuff out of you as a person, as a friend, as a musician, as a confidant. And I don't think I don't think he's ever had the opportunity to get pushed into where he is now until now, and that's why he's so amazing and special with music and where he comes from, because he's just so attached to it. And Jeff is as well. His brother's crazy. I mean, it's so funny, these two guys. But Lenny's a brilliant.
Did Jeff pay you for this? Did Jeff give you money, Kevin?
He did. Yeah, the checks in the mail. No, but it's true. It's like I met these guys. When did I meet you, Lenny? 2008. No,
2004, I think, was it? With the
no, 2005. Yeah, 2005.
Yeah,
it was a week before I got married, and I flew out to play an MS event that he and Jeff were putting on, and we just became great friends and have been friends ever since. So, and I have a lot of people in my life that I've met. I don't have a lot of people in my life that are this close to me, and it's. I'm veering off a bit from the songwriting, but it really has to do with who Lenny is and what he's able to do musically with the guys that he jams with. He brought the best out of, I think, the three or four of us when we were doing these three songs. I mean, they were written and recorded in 3 days.
That's amazing, because they're great. The two that I've heard so far are great songs, and I can't wait for the next one. I can't wait for the rest of the album. But I will wait the year patiently. What do you see yourselves doing after that? Do you see yourselves doing another album, or is it just kind of see how it goes kind of thing?
Well, I think we'd like to keep making records. I mean, I know with the Gracious Few, Chad keeps threatening me with a good time, but it's yet to kind of appear because they're really busy with live. But I tell you what, I mean, I would write with Lenny and Adam and Morgan. Again, in a heartbeat any day. I mean, it's just really, it's very enjoyable and it's really easy. And I think if we can finish 12 songs by next year, if we can continue on the pattern that we're on, I think that'll give us a year to tour and play it out for people, and then pop back in at some point and hopefully schedule 2 weeks locked into a space where we can actually knock out a whole record and record it. And Love Stories and Other Music was recorded in 10 days. So it's feasible. It was written and recorded in 10 days. I had about 5 songs done for the record, but the rest was done in the studio. It's possible to do it. You just got to make sure that everybody's schedule allows for it. And again, there's got to be the funding, because it's not free. And even though the music is most of the time spent recording it and producing it and writing it and mixing it and all that stuff isn't free. And so we've just got to figure out how we can do that around everybody's schedules and if the funding's there.
And hopefully the fans will want to contribute to something like this. I know you've got a lot of fans from your different projects, from CANDLEBOX. You've got Seven Dust fans, Infinite Staircase fans, and I think that pulls a lot of people in to listen just by seeing those band names. I know it did for me. Is there anything you'd like to say to the fans right now?
I would love them all. I find it hard to call them fans, because with social media, they're more like friends. I mean, I've made so many friends through all this, and I mean literally. And when people tell me, how amazing it is to talk with me, I'm nobody other than some dumb musician. But it's awesome. It's really cool.
Lenny, did different for you not to work with your brother on this?
Oh no, because he's still very much involved in the behind the scenes stuff. So we're constantly involved in that kind of. And he's the man when it comes to that. I mean, he'll spend hours on the internet doing what needs to be done. The stuff that people don't know goes on in order to get the music out there and whatnot. And hell, I thought Kevin was crazy when he told me, let's give some music out for free. And that's what we're doing. And that's one of the things that fans are like, that was so cool for you guys to give that song out for free. And like, wow, Kevin was right. Again.
Well, I'm always right. Yeah. Can't help that.
But that's probably been the biggest positive feedback I've gotten from people is that was so cool of you guys to give out a song for free. And like Kevin said, it wasn't free to make. I mean, most people would probably be shocked with the amount of money that's put into the production. But to give it out like that, I mean, like Kevin said, over the next year or so, if we could just keep pumping out music and have people digging it and then come out to see us when we're able to do it, I guess that's it's not a bad situation to be in.
No, it's not. We got to wrap this up, but I want to tell you both, I wish you the best on behalf of FullMetalRock.com. I hope that there are big things for this band in the future, and I can't wait to see you live.
Thanks, Kat.
All right, you guys have a great day, and I can't tell you how excited I am for the rest of the music to come out after December.
Cool. Thank you.
All right, you guys take it easy.
You too.
You too.
All right, bye-bye.